and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. And the Premier League season is officially over and Manchester United finished third. Now, obviously, ideally we'd want Manchester United to finish first, but considering the expectations on us this season, the squad we had, I am very happy with third place. Most people predicted us to finish 5th or 6th. We got third, so overall, it's been a good season. And today's video is 5 things we learned about Manchester United this season. And I have to say, it's been a season with many ups and many downs. You know, there was points where it looked like we were going to finish 10th, where we looked like we were going to finish below Arsenal, we were that bad. And then there was high points. I remember we started 4-0 win against Chelsea, then we dropped off, and then it looked like Ole was going to get sacked, and then we beat Spurs and Man City back-to-back wins, and then it went poor again. It looked like Ole was gone, we were awful, we didn't score in 4 games, we lost 2-0 to Burnley, and then Bruno Fernandes signed. And when Bruno Fernandes signed for Manchester United, we were 14 points off third with 14 games to go. So third looked impossible, but we went 14 games unbeaten and got third place. So today's video is 5 things we learned this season, so make sure you hit that like button, subscribe down below, share this video, and let's get straight into it. The first thing we learned this season is that Martial and Rashford are good enough. So we sold Lukaku and let Sanchez go on loan, and everyone thought we were mental. They're like, where are the goals going to come from? They're just relying on Rashford, Martial, James, and some 17-year-old kid called Greenwood. That's what everyone was saying. Everyone was like, there's no way, like, where are the goals coming from? There's no way that Rashford and Martial can get 20 goals a season. Greenwood's young, you can't rely on him. It was a bold decision letting Lukaku go and Sanchez go. I always thought Martial was better than Lukaku, and he's kind of proved that. But it was always a tough decision. But this season, we've been completely proven that Ole was right to let Sanchez and Lukaku go and trust his attackers. In the Premier League this season, Martial and Rashford both got 17 goals, their highest tally in the Premier League. All of Martial's goals were non-penalty goals. I think Martial has the 2nd best goals to minute ratio in the league. No, the 3rd best goals to minute ratio in the league if you take out penalties. Greenwood actually has the 2nd best, funny enough, Aguero first. But I think Martial also has like the 3rd most goals if you take out penalties in the league. Since Bruno Fernandes has joined, no player's been involved in like more goals than Martial, other than Bruno Fernandes. Like, our attack has been so good this season. Martial has over 30 goal contributions, 22 goals and 11 assists. The season technically hasn't finished because of Europa League. Marcus Rashford has 22 goals and 10 assists. And Mason Greenwood, the boy that everyone was like, you can't rely on him. Ole's stupid. Even I thought that for a bit. I was like, Mason Greenwood's good, but I didn't realise how good he was. Mason Greenwood has 17 goals and 5 assists this season. Over 20 goal contributions from Greenwood, 30 from Martial, over 30 from Rashford. That is pretty insane. Not to mention that, you know, Martial and Rashford, they had a good 2-3 months out injured each. Greenwood's only started about 15 games. You know, they were relying on scraps when they had Pereira and Lingard behind them. Who knows what these tallies are going to be next season? It's going to be insane. In terms of expected goals converted, I think Greenwood and Martial are technically 2 of the most clinical strikers in the league. I think Greenwood and Martial are both in the top 5 for most clinical finishers in the league in terms of expected goals. Gabriel Jesus was expected to score 19 or 18 goals this season, which was the highest out of anyone in the league. And Gabriel Jesus only got 13 goals, while, you know, Martial was expected to score 10 goals and he got 17. So you put Martial in that Man City squad and he could have got 30 goals. And I think this season, Martial, Rashford and even Greenwood have proved they're good enough to be a front 3. Our front 3 has over 60 goals this season and is statistically the youngest ever front 3 to score over 60 goals, which is an amazing stat to have, and I think our front 3 have proved they're good enough. Now, the second thing we've learnt this season is we need depth. We've got a lot of players that are not good enough. You know, Pereira's not good enough, Lingard's not good enough, Jones not good enough, to name a few. And we learnt that this season, that we need a lot more depth, because we know if you take 1 or 2 players out of our strongest starting 11 and we start to crumble, we know we need another creative midfielder, because you take Bruno out, there's Pereira. Problems. I like Pereira, but he's not good enough. Problems. You know, you take Pogba out, Fred, he's been good this season, but it's still a downgrade. I think this season, one of the most important things we've learned is we have a good initial starting 11, but we need depth. We need another CDM, we need another attacker in Sancho, and we need a Grealish or a Van de Beek for sure. I think we know that you take 1 or 2 players who are key out of that 11 and we're just awful. You know, we have a good 11, but look at our bench compared to City's bench, compared to Chelsea's bench even. we are a lot weaker. So I think depth is something we definitely need to invest in this season. The third thing we learned is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can improve players. So many players improved under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it's so important to have a manager where you see improvements in players under. Fred improved massively this season. I thought Lindelof improved this season. You know, some of the young players like Brandon Williams and Mason Greenwood, the impact they've had when they've come through. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been a terrific signing. But most importantly, you can tell Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a striker, because our most improved player has got to be Martial. And Rashford and Greenwood have also been amazing this season. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's really rubbed off on Martial. He looks like a true number 9. The improvements on Rashford is insane. The Greenwood, I mean, I guess it's an improvement. The impact Greenwood's had is insane. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has improved a lot of our players, and that's a massive thing. Now players know when they come to Manchester United, they can come here, they can learn, they can improve. The fourth thing we learnt this season is mentality and lack of leaders and inexperience. I think at some points this season, our inexperience has shown. We are the youngest squad on average in the league, and we don't have that many true leaders. Maguire, you could say, is a leader. Bruno Fernandes, you could say, is a leader, but who else on that pitch is really a leader? I think that's where the aspect of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanting Grealish comes into it, because I think when we've gone behind in games, a lot of the time we've struggled to come back. Obviously, after the break, you know, we came back in all the games that we went behind in, because we didn't actually lose a game. We either drew or win. But before the break, before Bruno Fernandes, we would not come back into games that we went a goal behind in pretty much most of the games. And, you know, when pressure's there, we do start to crumble. We do start to drop off a bit. And I think that proves that we do need more leaders on the pitch. We need like a Roy Keane. We need a Rio. We need a Vidic. You know, we need a bit more experience. And is Maguire a captain? That is a question I want to ask you. Is Maguire captain experience? I don't think he's quite Vidic. I don't know. I just think we need a few more leaders on the pitch, a few more experience. I think we've got a great young squad, but we need 1 or 2 more leader characters on the pitch. And the fifth thing we learnt this season is we have a squad to build off. We look like we're going somewhere. For the first time in 7 years, I look at that Manchester United squad and I think we can build something here. We came 3rd place, and I think everyone predicted us to come 6th. I remember BT Sport did this silly script thing where Man United were going to come 6th. Everyone was like, nah, they're going to come 5th or 6th. Everyone thought Arsenal would get in the top 4. Everyone thought the top 4 would be Arsenal, Spurs, Man City and Liverpool. You know, they thought Chelsea and Man United would drop off. But we overperformed expectations of many. But most importantly, I look at that squad and I actually think we can build something here. Put a right winger in, get a Van der Beek or a Grealish, maybe get another CDM to replace the ageing Matic, and maybe a quicker centre-back, and that is a very good team. I only think we're 3 or 4 signings away off being near Liverpool and Manchester City, you know. If we get lucky with injuries, we have a very good squad. We're back in the Champions League, we have that pool to sign big players. We've got a young squad that looks like they're going somewhere. Pogba might stay, we might get Sancho. For the first time in a while, Manchester United look like they're going somewhere. So that was today's video, 5 things we learned this season. If you haven't already, please smash that like button, subscribe down below if you're new, share this video. Thank you for watching. What have you learned this season that I've not mentioned in this video? Comment it down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.